This is the tool I'm working on to try to give you a quick and informed perspective on any of the players that are operating in your government or that you can elect. I've tried making this video 6 different ways, so now I'm just fucking hand holding it as I walk through the different things I've been building into this and letting you know what I hope for it to become. Just a generic landing page. You can log in, get permissions to be editing and adding information. Come over here, select the county because I'm running for clerk in Owen County. That's the one I've been working on the most. It brings up this space. You got the map, you got the county highlighted. Over here, you have all of the types of government, all of the elected positions that have anything to do with Owen County. You can collapse these. They're grouped. Municipal, township, county government, school board, your judicial branch, the appeals courts, state government, federal government. It's got a count of how many seats I think exist, how many have been filled with information, and how many are vacant. And all of those are township. I can't find township information online, and we'll talk more about that one later. So who's who in Owen County? Say I want to check out the municipal government. I've got the names of the different positions here in the Spencer Town Council, the Gosport Town Clerk and Treasurer. I wouldn't know that these were even positions necessarily that there were elections for until I open this little thing and I aggregate that data. I've got their names, I've got their party affiliations. A lot of that came from like reading articles. I've got when they're up next for election. If you're like me, you don't know what any of these people actually do. So I've built little context cards as a rollover, and it has the person who's occupying that seat and a little breakdown of what they do, what their responsibilities are. Those can be updated and cultivated to match specific information if necessary, but it's just supposed to give somebody who has no idea what the Spencer Town Clerk Treasurer does or the Spencer Town Council seat does a quick idea of what that person does, who's there. You can see there's no pictures of these people, which is the case for a lot of local government. I could Google them, and if I found their picture, which I did not, but I can show you an example of what this does, I could take that picture, drag it over to where their little face circle is, and boom, oh shit. Like I said, boom, now it's in there. If I give this a little refresh, now I've quickly got picture, who the person is, what their responsibility is, when they're next up for election, what their party affiliation is. So that's just in the first few seconds of getting into your county. You could theoretically be helping to research and put this information together so that we know what these people look like, what their names are, what their responsibilities are, which is kind of built in. Or you can just get a quick glance and learn, hey, this is who this person is. This is relevant to maybe me in my town. And I want to build in further functionality of how to act on that later. You can see here for Donald Hall, I've got a little evidence panel, and everybody's got their own little evidence panel. That opens up this area where you can start collecting your evidence about these people. Say you read something that's good about them or something good that they've done. You can hit good. You can type that quote, put that link, put that picture, and submit it, and it will show up in this queue. And you can't really see it on this video, but these are color-coded tags, so you can quickly see what's good, bad, questionable, or neutral of information that's being uploaded. I want to crowdsource and aggregate this information and sort it and cultivate it and make it relevant things to each person. Speaking of research, you can click this little research button, and for some people who are in the news, you will get an article that will pop up here. It's already got it populated with like quotes around the people. A lot of times you just got, not a lot of newsworthy things going on in a small town or with somebody who never did anything particularly shady. But you can go in and it searches and it gives you the Google articles and things. I want to make this more robust. I want it to pull from more places. But that's just a basic, you can get some information that you might not have otherwise about somebody that you've never heard of with a quick search that's built in. If we go to the same environment of the person I'm running against, Diane Stutzman, you can see that one article popped up. And if you read that article, it talks about what was going on in 2021 with the corruption and the spending and the people that eventually I think got into some trouble. And somebody noticed that the spending was ridiculous in this county, and they reported it to Diane Stutzman. And there's no word on what happened, what she did, what she didn't do. So immediately, somebody that I have no perspective on, who I barely even knew her role, I learned of what she was given back then. I have a question. If I'm a local reporter, if I'm somebody who's curious about how the county clerk is carrying out their duties or what they consider their responsibility, now I can investigate. What was that about, Diane? When they came to you with that information, what did you do? Did you keep it silent? Did you use some cliche? Did you? I don't know. I don't want to judge. I don't want to pretend. So that article lays that out. I have it marked as questionable. And then say I were to go and say I'm a researcher, say I'm a reporter, and I go and I talk to her, and she gives me a quote. I could drop that quote. I could drop her, picture, and I could say, hey, here's her response to what this was. Label it good, bad, questionable, or neutral. Maybe I get an audio clip, maybe I get a video clip. I want to build this out to be a pretty engaging feed of useful information. Right now, research, unfortunately, when you get an article, you have to open it in another window, and you can copy that text from that other window and drop it in. So here I'm on a remove paywall site. Copy the text, drop it in the box, and then you can go, now that this text is in here and it's saved in a persistent way, so if that site goes down, the text will still be there. You can go in and highlight specific quotes about that text, and you can right click, add to quote as evidence, and say, here's evidence of some bad shit that somebody said, right? If that's what you want, if that's what you want to label it. Then you click back over here to evidence. There's your quote, there's the article, there it's labeled as bad. Now, what if I want just a quick view of the bad things that people are doing or saying? Well, I'll click bad, and it's going to filter the people out by who's got bad news written about them or otherwise, information that you've shared, screenshots you've taken. And then if I scroll over their name, that clip, that quote, that thing that you shared is going to pop up. If you've got more than just bad things about you, it's going to cycle through those things one by one every time you click over the name. So you can take all the information about every local official that's been reported or that you seek out yourself and create snapshot views of what they've been doing just by scrolling over their name and filtering it out. They got good things said about them. This switches to good things. If you switch it back to all, it cycles through. If you want a picture of, here's a bad thing, here's a neutral thing, here's a questionable thing, good thing, it'll go through all of them that you've got tagged in order. And so then you can just quickly get a glimpse of what's going on with people, of what they've said, of what they're involved with, and aggregate like all the random reading that you might do about somebody into a few moments of pulling your mouse over their name. You can see here as I scroll over Mike Braun, that's a picture that I want to, this functionality, there's bugs, this is a relatively new program, but that's a picture of his lowest approval rating of all the governors. I would love for that to be able to play little clips, just so that you could just real quickly be like, huh, okay, here's a perspective on a guy, almost like my own personal daily show clip show of what's going on with these people. I've got a queue that lets me real quickly approve or reject submissions. So if I get people to like sign up to be a part of this and they're like approved, contributors, then we can go through and say, hey, yeah, this stuff makes sense. This is accurate. We can measure this against something, and real quickly, boom, 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 tie it to people. I want to be able to tie specific politicians that are quoted in articles, even if the article is primarily about a different one. I want to make the visuals on the map match certain keywords. So like what counties in Indiana right now are dealing with issues related to like solar panels or data centers. I want to be able to see that instantly. I want you to know who's sponsoring what bills and for you to be able to see that bill and get quotes from that bill immediately. I want anything that you've read, researched, clipped, or whatever to appear as your impression, as your profile of any given individual as quickly as you found anything in your life. I want to make it real, I want to make it visual, and I want to give you action steps. You want to fill these vacancies? Call the auditor at that number.